Thanks everybody coming out again. We'll go ahead and get started here at 6 o'clock exactly. And since we don't have a president right now, Danny, our vice chair, has now been promoted to back to chair. And so Dan, yeah. So Danny, if you want to help get the meeting started, it's on you.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Just get down to the staff report here.
Where's that?
She doesn't live far.
You didn't invite your papers?
No, she coming, Aspen? That's true. All right, staff report. So the LWCF grant for Emerald Ridge, that was our big topic of discussion from in July and then also in October. So again, thank you all for all the feedback you guys provided for that. We were able to complete that grant and we submitted it for review back in November. They are hoping to announce those who will be awarded that in the fall. And per grant requirements, I kind of talked to Danny about this. We cannot choose or start construction until we find out if we've been awarded. So for right now, our conversation on Emerald Ridge is probably on halt until probably August. And then we'll bring back those 3 playground design companies back. And that's when we'll really get into the weeds. If we don't get it or do get it, we're going to do it no matter what. Just the design and cost may be different from there. So once we get that information to you guys, that'll be a fall. We'll really be getting into Emerald Ridge. So, while the seniors were out on their winter break, our park maintenance team went in and they repainted the center. We're excited for another season of fitness classes and rentals, and we'll be implementing more youth programs in this space in 2023. Some history of that for those who maybe not know. The senior center was basically just for the seniors up until probably 2018. And then the Board of Aldermen wanted to kind of increase the revenue or help decrease the amount of expenses that were coming out of there to try to offset each other. So what happened is city staff passed it over to the Parks and Recreation Department. Since we were already doing facility rentals, our goal was to try to promote it more in the start, just so people knew aware that you could rent it. We've changed up how to rent it. We've changed up the fees. And so starting, now again here in 2023, rentals keep increasing. We're going to keep trying to get more people in there, look at some different ways to benefit that. One big thing is the color change in the senior center from mint green to a more white color has already made it look a lot cleaner, more updated, and hopefully that will influence more events and parties that come into the area as well. Just because we're trying to get more rentals in there, we still have allocated space for the seniors. They get it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're offering fitness classes to seniors, any seniors in Clay County, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well, from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So it's getting used. They're getting their benefit. We're applying more. And like I said, Alex and Aspen are working to get more programs in there as well, because that's something that we haven't done before. And that's kind of our only indoor space we have for our parks department. So for now, once we get up to the Litton Center, we'll have some more allocated space. So just trying to use it as much as possible to get the most out of it.
What's the primary rentals that people are doing right now?
Most of them are graduation and birthday parties. And we've had a few baby showers in there. Currently alcohol is not allowed in there. So you don't get a lot of like wedding showers or am I thinking of another word for that?
We do have a church though.
Yes.
The Grace Place
You're right, yeah.
moved out of their space down here. They're renting it till May. I think,
Yeah.
May,
March.
March right now. They
Yeah.
might, but if they extend it, they extend it. But
Yeah, and then Danny's church also used
Yeah.
it for church services too.
Yeah.
So,
And then Hartman, do you want to make any comments on senior center?
Absolutely. A couple weeks ago, I was able to have lunch with the seniors and talk to Polly. And she's extremely excited about the space, great feedback from them. Mayor, there was obviously some, I think, misconception going around about where the bookcases went, but they ended up in Polly's office, and so they did not disappear from the seniors. But anyway, just job well done. I mean, they're really, really a lot of energy in there, and I'm going to be going back. I was encouraged by the mayor to go have lunch with him.
I
and I'm glad I
almost
did.
got sucked into playing cards with them all day and I can't do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if you
no,
like playing cards or Rummy Cube or anything, go down there and hang out. It's a good time.
yeah, no, again, shout out our parks maintenance guys. They got it done in about 2.5 days and got that all painted. So they're ready to fit. There's one room left. It's where the pool table room's at. And that was where we had to store everything when we were painting. So it just didn't get a chance.
I
to
told them we'd
get it
probably
all
wait
out
till
there.
next holiday when it's closed again. So, cause gotta take the keys off the wall and all that stuff and they'll be
Yeah.
grumpy.
So it'll be done soon, but that's what we have left. And the guys worked hard to get that done. So
Yeah.
they really enjoy kind of moving around and everything like that. So,
Hey, the paint looked good. I didn't see any drips or runs anywhere.
Yeah. and then since our last meeting, Alex's first month here to where we are now, as you can see in the recreation part, which I'll let Alex do. I mean, she's doing a lot in just 3 months. We just did a little 3-month review just a couple of days ago. So it's been that quick from our last meeting. So you want to go ahead and kind of review it if you want.
I just have some highlights from my report that was in the packet. We're still have a couple weeks of basketball left. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Make sure just so the video catches it
Okay.
too.
We have a couple weeks of basketball left. They have this weekend, next weekend of games, and then the next following week of their final tournament. So we're almost done with basketball. We had 16 teams and 130 players. So that was pretty good. I looked at the numbers last year and they were like 120. So we're up from a year ago. Basketball registration, I pulled the report and it brought in about 8,500 from just registration before expenses. And then we are working on spring sports. All the registrations open right now for soccer, baseball, softball, t-ball, and our little kickers soccer clinic. And the younger age of the soccer clinic is already sold out. So we're looking at adding a third session to that. Since we last met, we had the candy cane quest and we had a couple hundred people show up. It was a good turnout. We also had the holiday light contest. We had 11 participants this year, 9 homes and 2 businesses. And then Aspen and I are working on some spring events. We're starting to plan like from now until June, until we have our new facility, and then we can program more for the winter. But right now we're working on a Valentine's Day cookie decorating party. Aspen's working on a dodgeball tournament. And then we have a Mother Daughter Tea Party, April 29th.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. So let's go. Parks Board needs a team. Dodge, duck, dive, dodge, right? I'm gonna be the commentator on the Ocho. Why we? I'll commentate when I'm not playing.
And then since we last met, Aspen has started, like Matt said, she's taking the lead on the dodgeball tournament for her first event. So she's been working on that. She's been here just about 2 months, I think.
Yep.
So
So
Yep.
apparently Matt only gets to the first letter of the alphabet, gets their resume and then stops.
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, we were also saying red hair too, because
Oh, yeah.
Alex, Chase, and Aspen all have red hair. So,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Well, and thanks, Alex. You're doing a fantastic job. I mean, I had the opportunity to be on the interview panel and I was excited that you're with us. So
Thank you. I think that's all I have. Do you have any questions?
how, and they're 90 days in, what feedback do you have for us?
Well, I'm not sure. For you guys?
she's happy that our parks committee is not
Dysfunctional? We can be dysfunctional.
No, this is great. It's so organized. I love it.
I mean, Danny's continued to stay on this thing since day one somehow. but
Are you
well,
trying to get rid of me?
no,
Is that what I'm hearing?
every year we talk about this, so. She has her dog park and she's still here, so she didn't bail on us.
Are you looking for what I was looking for, Matt? 'Cause
The packet's not out there,
That's
by the
not-
way. The email is just the agenda.
Just the agenda.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the city website if you guys.
No, we
wanna
just
go
tried
on
to
the
pull
city-
it.
It's that one. That's on the city website.
I was able to pull it up on the.
Oh, were
city.
you?
I
Yeah.
just
she just-
tried to pull it up and I didn't get the right.
It wasn't
one.
working for her, so I don't know, something I missed up.
So that's why I pulled this one up from, was from
Okay.
the city website here.
Okay.
All right. One thing I did mention to Matt, I don't know. Well, I think the Parks Board can weigh in on it during new business was, and I don't know, it's in the staff report. Camping opens April 1.
Yep,
We won't
so
have a Parks Board meeting before then too, right?
maybe, we're talking about that today.
We had discussed, I thought last. time.
Quarterly?
Yeah.
Yeah, the campground will open up on April 1st and we have new camp hosts, Janet and Chris. They've been camping with us for multiple years and they were helpers with the previous camp hosts, Dennis and Katrina Reeves, who were fan favorites. So they learned from the good ones and so we're happy to get them in there and have a good season. So they're already bringing us ideas and events, so it's going to be a good season, I hope. So
And we have 100% of the spots, correct? No,
we'll be without 3 to start.
okay.
From
Yeah.
the sewer or the pump station, so right?
The connection, yeah.
Start.
They haven't made the connection yet, so.
Just the backside.
Mhm. Yeah. So it'll be 3 because they're going to be doing that sometime in May. And it runs through 26, 28, and 29, that line does. So. Cool. All right, we will move on to the next one. It's the election of vice chair. I'll go ahead and hit this one. So with the resignation of Allison, Danny was moved into the chair position, leaving the vice chair position open. So the committee needs to recommend and then vote on the new vice chair position. So make your recommendations,
Who wants it? Dan will nominate you.
or you can recommend anybody. You don't have to say who.
I was gonna nominate you, but then I was like, I promised you in our interview that I wouldn't do that. So
yeah,
I was like,
I
nope,
can-
she will speak if she wants it.
I feel like it's not well, I can nominate myself if anyone wants to
Yep.
state their case
You
to run
can't,
against
you
me.
can't do that.
Okay, well, I can't just appoint myself, but
Somebody's got to nominate you.
I'm gonna nominate you.
Okay.
Yeah.
there you go.
So officially her name and everything. So
Yeah, you need to nominate by name
Oh.
for the record.
Keller.
Strauss. I nominate Haley Keller Strauss. Did I get that right?
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Ooh,
And then ask if
I'll,
there's any other nominations.
Any
no,
other
no,
nominations?
if not, I'll second that.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor? Do we need a roll call for this one? I never know.
It's voice vote is fine.
Yeah, voice vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Right.
Mhm.
Next up, we have the 2023 meeting dates. I'm gonna let you.
Yep, so in our last meeting in new business, it was recommended that we look at meeting more than just quarterly. We'll open it up for discussion from the committee, to look at our, future meeting dates, and then we will vote on a new meeting time. So I'll kind of give a brief history. So we used to meet once a month on the 4th Thursday of every month. We stopped doing that because we weren't getting enough members here to have a quorum. So we looked to spread that out to give everyone enough time to just go around the meetings. It also gave us a little bit more to talk about as well. As we do have more stuff coming up, obviously summer is a busy time and we have some, new things that'll come up. I'll even talk about some new stuff and new business that I want to talk about, but definitely want to make sure as we look at this, is Thursday the right day to meet on the 4th Thursday? Do we want to meet at a different time? Do we want to go keep quarterly, go to bi-monthly? Just kind of keep all that into in your thoughts as you kind of discuss this. So I'll let you guys discuss.
My preference would be to move it to the 4th Tuesday, since that's now completely open and never will be used by the board, any other board. Unless EDC is planning to start meeting more. But if we meet at 6 and they meet at 7, that should be fine, right? Or we can move it up if we need to. Unless people definitely can't meet on Tuesdays and. Okay, so I'm fine with keeping it Thursday if it's conflict for other people.
If it works for everybody, I can try to make it work for my schedule. It's just
Yeah,
that's when
no.
my husband usually teaches class in the evenings.
I think Thursday's fine then.
Thursday's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thursday
so,
works.
Matt, I mean, leave it to the board here to decide, but I think as we kind of go through winter, it's probably quarterly is fine, but as we get into spring and summer, monthly would probably be okay with me,
I think as long as we really skip November, December and usually do a January meeting. Because our budget year starts November 1. From now until May, June, this board really does need us help with you with priority. Because we start doing budget development in May. And then from really August to the end of the year, there's not a lot that you can change, but with Emerald Ridge potentially coming along, we'd need to meet probably August, September, October. So
What the quarterly dates looked like, it was January, April, September or July, October.
yeah. In July should be fine, but or we could take off, we could meet from now until May and then take June, July off and then kick it back in August. That way you guys have to worry about summer schedules.
I think the summer is a problem, has been a problem for us.
Yeah.
What, do you have a timeline or anything that's coming to see what we are gonna be kind of discussing, like we talked about?
Yeah, so-
We know what's coming.
Yeah,
We
so
kind of know the date. Is
we
there anything
talked
else?
a little bit back in October about the pushback of the sport courts and what the CIP looks like for the parks and stormwater sales tax looks like.
Mhm.
So that discussion is probably going to be coming up here with the finance department when they start looking at budgets for that. I start the discussions in March and they'll bring it to the board in April for I think a 3-month review. I think it's right around April time. So when we start talking about budget stuff, that's when I like giving you guys updates on what it's looking like and what priorities are and what that looks like.
And I forgot to get this number from Stephen today for December sales tax, but yeah, by then we'll have January, February, March, yeah. So that'd give us a good trend on sale. That'd give us a 6-month trend, hopefully, or close to it.
So what, I was gonna say, so what are we looking at in February then, and then March to get to that? What are we gonna need to provide feedback for?
I
Or
think-
what do we need to hear about so that
Yeah.
we can
I
give
think
you?
February would
adequate
be a good
feedback?
wrap on the legacy fund dinner. Because it'd be right the week after it.
Yeah,
Do we
Okay.
want to meet monthly from now until May, take off June and July, and then, like, do we have to set dates for the entire year?
yeah, I'd like
Our
to
board.
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, if
I'd
we can,
like
if
to.
we can meet from monthly from now until May, take off June, July. And then do August, September, October, I think that would give us, and then if we need to cancel on because we don't have anything, great, but at least people can plan on not worrying about the summer. And
I think the fourth Thursday is when that dinner is.
no,
It's the 18th.
Oh, okay.
the 23rd,
Or wait,
it is the fourth Thursday, yeah.
You're right.
Yep, so we would not have February.
We'll talk more about the next and then.
Well,
next
no,
one
we're
for
gonna
that
have
day
a board
is-
meet, we're
yeah.
gonna have the meeting because you guys are coming to White Iron Ridge.
Sure, I saw that they needed some.
We need some servers. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. if-
We won't get into that yet, but that's
So,
looking.
so we
yeah.
want to do March, April, May, take off June, July, do August, September, October as a schedule.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
I think so.
Does that work for you, Kyle?
And if we
You on, Kyle? Can you hear
March,
us?
April, May, skip June, July, then have August, September, October.
I was gonna say, there's still the availability of calling in for Zoom if need be, if, for
Yes.
instance, if we're
Yeah,
traveling.
yeah,
to work.
we
So-
will always have Zoom now that we got the 2 cameras and the TVs. and
Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
So,
so we are skipping February because we're gonna be.
We'll skip February.
All right, so Danny, I'm gonna read this off for you so you can get people to vote on this one. So we're gonna meet. Starting in March, we'll meet March, April, and May. Skip June and July, and then meet August, September, and October, and then skip November and December for 2023.
On the fourth.
On the 4th Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Via Zoom or in person.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal for this. just like send Matt and me an email with you're missing and you're not.
Yeah, and just for, that's a good topic for everyone, just a reminder that if we want to make sure you don't miss more than 3 meetings in a row. Because by bylaws, then you'd have to step down.
Well, we
Purposes of
consider
this
it.
board, For those meeting dates, if you miss 3 in a row, like, you missed the whole year,
Yeah.
or
What
at
the-
least half of it.
Well, that's why when we were doing quarterly, we are like, when people
Yeah.
miss 3 in a row, I'm like, seriously, you can make it to 1 in a
They were
year.
never
Yeah. So,
What's
anyway,
on May, what's that date? What's the fourth Thursday?
It'd be like Memorial Day week, I think.
Yeah, that's why I'm,
It's the 25th.
okay, so was that before or?
It's
Memorial-
before Memorial Day weekend.
Do we want to bump that one up just to not coincide with that weekend?
We can.
I mean, do a lot of people leave on Thursday? I know
Could.
when school gets out.
So that's just something to think about there. The third Thursday may be a little safer.
So do the 18th in May.
And we could also look at that date maybe in
Yeah.
April too, when it gets a little.
Yeah, let's,
closer if you want
and
to.
if we just, yeah, just for,
The April meeting, we can discuss that.
That's fine.
Okay.
we can
As long as-
reschedule.
As long as we can change it.
We can reschedule.
Okay, so for the purposes of a motion,
Motion to approve the schedule as stated.
you've got it written down, right? I also have it written down. We all understand. Okay, I'm gonna make the motion that we're gonna meet, we're gonna skip February, meet March, April, May. We're gonna skip June and July, meet August, September, October, skip November and December on the 4th Thursday of those months at 6 PM, either via Zoom or in person.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Opposed. Everything you just said.
Right, and next we have the Legacy Fund dinner.
I'll get started here. So the Legacy Fund in the city of Smithville is partnering with the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce to host Night at the Oscars at White Iron Ridge. The dinner is to honor citizens and volunteers within the community while raising funds for the Legacy Fund. As of the 23rd of January, we had 240 tickets sold for the dinner. Kozak's, Chops Barbecue, and Aroma Bistro will be working together for the dinner. If you're interested in joining the committee or to learn more, please let me know. Tickets can be purchased below. As we kind of mentioned here, we are looking for help and volunteers for their dinner service, silent auction, and fundraiser. There's also various other spots that we could help with, the chamber on doing check-in, pictures, and possibly some setup if you can't make the dinner, or even help cleaning up afterwards. But also attending as well if you guys want to attend. So I'll let Damien talk a little bit more too.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sheet. So as of the current sheet, we have very few individual tickets that have been purchased. So let your friends, family, other people know. We've got quite a few that are, so our goal for platinum sponsors, which is $3,000, was 2. We've hit 3. Gold, which is 1,500, our goal was 7, and we are at 10. Silver goal was 11, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in kind, 8. Yeah. I'm on the platinum list, so is Jennifer. So Legacy Fund Board has really stepped up on this one. Angela, myself, Jennifer, have all bought tables or tickets. So if you know anybody, reach out. Come on in. What's up? So if you're not convinced to do it just out of the charity of your heart and donate to the Parks Department, the food from Aroma and Kozak's and Chops, I've worked with the chefs to put together a local-ish menu. So Paradise is providing the pork. Price Chopper is donating fruits, vegetables, and some other things. Nothing Bunt Cakes is donating cakes, buntlets, they're called. Kozak's is doing strawberry butter cake. Aroma is doing ceviche. We're working with a couple other companies to get more desserts donated. We've got some decent silent auction items. And we're going to do heads and tails, which is a fun 50-50 raffle game. So you could win some money too. So lots going on. We'll have 3 photographers, I think, with the red carpet. So we'll enter, for those of you who've been in White Iron Ridge, we'll enter White Iron Ridge, go to the right. The outdoor area will be closed in with the bars there, but they won't be open because we're going to do a red carpet with photography and paparazzi and all that fun stuff. And then the other side by the fireplace will be the silent auction area. And then we're using the main dining area for the meal. We're working
Yeah.
on live entertainment and a few other things. So
Yeah, kind of the agenda would be kind of the come in, do the pictures, register. We'll have a social hour and then we'll go and eat. And while we're eating, the chamber will be doing their awards or community awards. So
Yep.
Nominations are still open if you, or it might have closed.
They
on
just
that.
closed last
Yeah,
week.
you're right. Yeah. But they'll be awarding those and then we'll do the silent auction and the Heather Tails game and then finish with kind of another social hour. So looking forward to it. We got some good silent auction stuff. So if you know anybody that would be interested or yourself for silent auctions, I know a few of you do some fun things. So any ideas or anything like that would be helpful. But we're really excited for the event and you don't have to answer right now if you want to volunteer, but shoot me an email or Damien an email as well. And we'll get you into that location. So, but we really do encourage you all to be there as it is for Parks and Recreation and for the event. Look forward to it.
I'm serving the plates to my table, so we're making sure. And I think for dessert, well, Eric and I are back and forth, so and finalized, we're planning on doing dessert tables in the silent auction area. So people have to actually go into the silent auction area at least to get their dessert, so y'all can brawl over which bundt cake you want. We're not gonna force you to take the one that's on the table, so. Or gooey butter cake or cookies or whatever we end up getting.
Does anybody have any questions on the dinner and what we're looking at?
Like you have everything for fundraising under control. What we just did at a celebration of service event, they did a dessert dash.
Mhm.
You heard of that?
Yeah,
It was such a complicated concept. I won't take everyone's time here, but once she explained it the 4th time to me, I got it and we made a lot of money on it. But it sounds like you have, I know that's just.
we're doing
another thing.
$10 for one thing of beads, 50 for 6. And we've got like 400, so I think that as a fundraiser plus silent auction and that's gonna be
You
plenty.
can get. fundraisers.
It's not, yeah, that's not complicated and there's gonna be a celebrity there to sell beads. Dennis Brewer has promised there will be a celebrity there selling beads. I don't know who, but not gonna be Buddy the Elf. but. So yeah, it's been fun putting together menus and reaching out to people and we've reached out to a lot of the city vendors, you know, they've bought tables and Legacy Fund Board has been good about attending the meetings, chamber. Just so y'all know, in the past, the community awards were held out at Paradise Point, which did not hold a lot of people. They talked about doing a White Iron Ridge event with the chamber for like 200 people. But when we started looking at this, they thought our goals were a little crazy. They thought our sponsorship levels are a little high. We've exceeded all those goals so far, so.
Yeah,
We
Mayor,
want-
we haven't added up yet. We were gonna try to get through ticket sales, but some of the donations too, I mean,
Yeah.
are gonna be worth.
Yep.
So it's,
Yeah, Chase is getting us some elk antlers. They're antlers, Matt, not horns.
I put horns in there.
Yes, you
He would
did.
be mad at me if he saw that.
And Dan's, are you getting us some beef?
full cow, yeah.
Or you get a full cow,
Yeah,
two
full cow,
sides.
2 sides, yeah, 2
So
halves.
it's worth going to a silent auction just to bid on beef right now with steak meat prices, so. We'll bid on a cow. No, and Paradise is providing, we're doing like their 10 rib rack, so it's like gonna be cooked similar to prime rib. And big old hunk of bone in pork on your plate.
Yeah, it looks like Erica kind of put the sheet together. So it's check-in table, servers and bussers, silent auction, heads tail games, photos. And that's.
Yeah.
So
Got a camera, it's to my right.
I missed that.
Are you doing pictures?
You want me
Are you gonna help do pictures? We need like 1,000
Same.
pictures. We actually have cardboard
Cameras
cutouts with
stay
flashes in them, like paparazzi too. So we need real photographers too.
Used to get dressed up.
Get dressed up, come out, support the parks.
It's night at the Oscars.
It is a night at the Oscars. Be a celebrity for the
Yeah.
day.
All right, well, good to,
No slapping the announcer. David Cooper might slap back.
yeah.
Oh, that was weird. That's my dad's name. And I was like, why are we talking? Why is he? That's just, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so Legacy Fund Dinner, we're done with that. We good? Anybody have any questions, discussion, anything else before we move on from there?
Everything can be found on the website or whatnot if we need to, right?
Yep.
So.
All right,
It's online through February 8th now. That's what we
Yep.
extended to.
we're gonna move on to number 7 for new business.
I have something for new business.
Yeah.
At the next meeting, which is in March, I've kind of talked with Cynthia and I've talked with the mayor about this, but I'm a little antsy that we can't do the Emerald Ridge project this year. So I'm trying to figure out something to do that'll be significant. There is some savings that have been through the parks and stormwater sales tax. I'd like to resurface the playground servicing at Heritage Park Playground. It's currently wood fiber mulch, playground mulch.
Nice.
And I'd like to look at options
pretty
to
nice.
make that more of a efficient, a harder surface. One for, it is ADA accessible, but obviously it makes some, dips and holes and things like that. But also be a little bit more efficient for our parks maintenance guys because they have to go out there, once a month, every other month to push the mulch around and then it's right back.
Dig up some
like-
mats. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So we're looking at that, an initial cost. And then, we also probably need to look at resurfacing, Smith's Fork Playground. That servicing has been, it was put in, it was capped twice.
Painted.
Yeah, it was there. And then, so it's looking, if you've been out there recently, it's looking rough. It just the sun and the old age of
Minor
it
liner.
and just kids picking at it, it's looking rough. So there's 2 playgrounds we could probably look at resurfacing. And since that's not budgeted, I'd like to, our next meeting, discuss that topic of you guys, one, if we think it's something we want to look at prioritizing budget for and recommending that to the Board of Aldermen. And then just going from there. So that is my new business. We can talk about that in March.
You'll have estimates then at that time?
I have some now, yeah.
We had
Yeah.
estimates when we built it. We just couldn't afford it then.
I saw, yeah, I got some new ones. I'm waiting on a few, 2 more.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it's around 100, between 110 to 150.
But just for Smith's Fork or just for?
That's for Heritage, yeah. Smith's Fork is it'd be a lot cheap. It's a little less surface area, so a little cheaper.
And how long are we anticipating that surfacing lasting?
The new stuff would last again for another 10, 15
So
years probably.
the school on turf, the school estimate for a new turf field with them playing football on is 20 years.
Will it be turf like what's up at Diamond
To
Crest?
talk
or are we
about
talking the stuff
options.
that's out at-
Smith's
There's
Fork is
options.
how old? 20, some years, 30
Yeah,
years old.
I think it was put in around 2005.
And we did the shapes in it 5 years ago to fill those.
I was
in.
here.
Yeah.
Yep, so I was here for that.
So, yeah, the pour in place lasts a long time and they both last.
Yeah,
20,
there's a
30
few
years.
out there's a turf, there's the pour in place, there's bonded mulch. So it's like rubber mulch, but bonded together into a harder surface. And yeah, those are probably the three main ones.
And so does the heritage resurfacing, does that fall in line with the parks plan? As far as, we're not gonna tear it up in 3 years?
No, no.
Oh,
that-
no,
it's-
yeah, that playground's there.
Okay,
Yep, sorry.
okay.
I thought you meant if it wasn't in in our 5-year plan, it was like, it really wasn't, but we were gonna probably change that around eventually.
But no,
So-
that playground stays on the master. plan.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. And we're actually getting ready to, and luckily we haven't started on the rest of the heritage. We're getting ready to run a new water line right down the dead center of the grassy area. So I asked Chuck to put a T in there so we can just turn it on once in a while and shoot a 12-inch pipe worth of water into the air. Have a really big splash fountain. Probably go about 60 feet.
Yeah, that'd be a really big one.
I'm also trying to talk Chuck into redoing that whole, since he's got to put a hole in the parking lot to redo the whole parking. lot.
Yeah, he's not doing that. We'll turn it into gravel before that happens. Yeah. But no, we do have to, we have to dig through there to put in a water line that'll go north on the other side, through the the fields by the senior center and then up to help feed the water tower up at, by the dog park. So that's a big water project this year, and then lots of sidewalks going in, and Riverwalk, as of Tuesday, Riverwalk, Second Creek Sidewalk, and, Roundabout were all approved by Mid-America Regional Council.
Hmm.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I honestly forgot to tell you guys, the 3 signs that we spoke about back in July. One of them is done already, Helvey's done, but they're gonna wait till all 3 are completed to put them out, but he has to wait till a little bit warmer weather to put them out, so we'll be ready to go for
was the
late
fire pit
spring.
done last time we met?
Yes, fire pit's done at Helvey.
No, but was it done last time we met?
No,
Okay, so there is a fire pit in the selfie, you guys put the selfie station out there too, I
Yep.
saw.
yep.
So Helvey's gotten some upgrades.
How does the fire pit work? Is it,
It's there, go use it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a campground fire pit.
you need a burn permit? Do you need to rent the space? Do you need?
You would, no, it's first come, first serve. Yeah, you'd be using it, yeah.
It's right there at the shelter.
I mean, this is kind of up to the board, but I think it's worth looking at and seriously considering something that's gonna last.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll talk about it in March when.
Yeah.
It's on the agenda, but any other new business?
What about adding lights to the basketball hoops at?
We can put that in new business. I know we had talked about that at one point too. One of the problems I know is our current park rules, most of the parks, do we have close at sunset like the county does, or
That's 11 PM.
11 p.m.? Okay. Yeah, we looked at, it was in, but we looked at it when we built those and I think it was 30,000, no. it wasn't that much.
60,000.
For the lights
Mhm.
and the fence. Yeah. But we might be able to do something like by the bathroom to do a motion light or something. I don't know. We can look at some other
Hmm.
options. Yeah, I know a couple people contact. That's a good one.
What we used to, my hometown, we had ones that like you turn a thing and it's on a
Yeah.
timer and they like. click off the switch, but-
Do you actually, the parking lot that's out, the tennis parking lot, you can, the lights are still there around it and it's on a timer.
Yeah.
But they don't, that line was cut years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we could look at doing something there, because you're not the first person to ask that one.
Yeah.
too. And it was in the original plan. We just didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah. And 2, when it's in the summertime, it's like one of those, it doesn't get dark till 9:30
Yeah.
and really after that.
And if we put in a basketball court at Emerald Ridge, we'll make sure we try and do electric up there too.
Good deal. Yeah, put that in
Basketball
there.
everywhere. Surprised you didn't ask for lacrosse. Cross fields.
And I know we have a, fitted in, they've got a couple folks in the audience that like. to-
Yeah, anything you guys want to add? No? Dwayne just came to hang out?
That's something.
Please do.
Alex,
That way Kyle can hear you. It's not that we can't hear you, but we want to make sure the Zoom can hear you.
Okay, hello Zoom folks. I was looking at the proposed plan for Heritage Park. And specifically which is an awesome, by the way, plan. What a magnificent addition that's gonna be. It's just great. But I was looking specifically at the performance venue. And I think I'd mentioned to you
Yep.
something about a band shell, but you weren't sure what a band shell was.
I did find out, yeah.
So I brought some photographs of band shells, one in Ames, Iowa. A band shell that was in Plainview, Nebraska. One that's in Independence, Kansas, for photographs. But my reason for maybe wanting to ask the park board of the city to consider a band shell. It provides and offers natural acoustics. The way they are designed, it pushes the sound out without the aid of an amplification system. Now, if you have a small, like a single person playing a guitar and singing, you might need amplification. But one of the things that band shells can provide is that the amplification could be an integral part of the structure itself, so that you're not carting around speakers, you're not carting around amplifiers. And with the new amplification systems that we have with wireless mics, you don't have battery cables. You don't have issues with, well, this plug works on that, but it doesn't work on this. Is all you have is a wireless microphone or two or three or four, however many you want. The other opportunity that and I would suggest a three-tiered stage on the band shell with an apron. And that provides a good setting for bands, but it also provides a good setting for theatrical performances and things of that nature. In addition, the backside of a band shell can have there could be like a building back behind it that the audience doesn't even see, that provides opportunities for bathrooms, a couple of dressing rooms, maybe an ancillary park office space that can be utilized, even a meeting room for a place, to meet. And so with that in mind, who do I give? Do I give
You
this?
give them Matt.
to you? Yeah,
So,
I've written pretty much what I said down on here. The other thing that a band shell provides that I should mention is shelter from the weather, because three sides of the performers are sheltered from rain or wind. And particularly in the case of performing groups, if they have music that they're using, the wind oftentimes can be a real issue because their sheet music flies all over the place. But at the same time, it provides movement of air because the front of the shell is completely open so that they're not sitting in there sweltering.
so I don't know if you're here when we're talking about Legacy Fund, and thank you for bringing that, because I met with Bridge Street Theater. I've tried to meet with some other groups that use the current stages and need stages. The stage portion of Heritage Park is going to be funded through the Legacy Fund. That's our fundraising goal currently. What was our price estimate?
About, it was just over, it's about 300,000.
Yeah, so if we add more, I mean, we originally talked 9. So $300,000 goal, we're at about $7,000 right now. So we really need to get some folks
Continue closing that gap.
motivated to buy tickets to the Legacy Fund dinner and sponsor that event so we can close that gap, because
Well, here's a donation of $50.
there we go.
Thank
Matt,
you.
make sure you get that to Stephen.
Yeah. well,
The other thought I had on the band shell was more of an architectural thought. And that is on the one hand, there are those in the city of Smithville that like to keep the small town atmosphere, feel, and look. And as Tevye would say in Fiddler on the Roof, on the other hand, there's those that feel that, we want to be a city, and we want to, boy, do we want to be a city. This band shell, I think, serves both of those purposes. Band shells were traditionally built in, for the most part, small communities, unless you discount the Los Angeles band shell and the Lincoln, Nebraska band shell and the Des Moines, Iowa band shell. But oftentimes they were for smaller communities. And it really promotes a gathering place. And just for all the reasons I stated before, it makes more sense than that was proposed. However, of course, as usual, things that make more sense and usually come with a higher price tag, because it's an awful lot cheaper to just build a thing with 4 open sides as opposed to a band shell. But I think the band shell would serve you well.
And that's part of the reason we started talking with Bridge Street Theater and others too, because we're not
Yeah,
gonna
Chris,
we're not
yeah.
building this in the next 3 years by any means, but that's part of the 10-year plan. 'Cause we got to do Smith's Fork first. So we have time to fundraise, but we have to fundraise for it. So,
Yeah, we'll definitely get into the details.
yeah, because that's one of the
We'll
things
do
they
it,
mentioned
yeah.
too, that we kind of mocked up was green room space and
Yeah.
being able to secure if they put stages up. And we already have it facing northeast, so we don't have to worry about the sun or other
Mhm.
things, so.
And sounds.
The,
Yeah, anything the sound going into somebody's
Yeah.
house, it goes more towards open field, so.
The band shell that you see here, that the Ames Iowa band shell, that was a WPA work project.
Yeah,
And I'm not suggesting by any means that it be a band shell that large. I mean, that is a huge, I mean, they have like a 90-piece municipal band. And I don't think Smithville needs something as large as that. So don't be misguided by the photographs there, that it has to be in any way, shape or form to that size. I will say that the Ames band shell also used it had a basement under it. And they used it as a rehearsal space for the Ames Municipal Band, but they also used it if you know, when came time to renew your driver's license. Iowa Highway Patrol was there, and that's where you took your eye test and got your driver's license review. So it was a multi-purpose structure, not just sitting there vacant most of the time. It was utilized. Thank you.
So
Thanks.
one question here. Is the primary purpose overall though of it just for acoustics? I mean, is that the number one thing with
I
going that
think-
route?
I think it goes further than that, in that if you have an open stage, as proposed,
Mhm.
if you need amplification, you've got speakers to carry around. If you want huge amplifications, you've got monster things you got to set on the side on tripods with monster speakers. A structure like this allows you to integrate a sound system within it that stays outside of the weather. It's not impacted by the weather. The electronic amplification system itself is also contained, within the wall simply with a locked door on it, so it doesn't get vandalized. And so I think it goes just beyond the acoustics in terms of its shape. It reduces the equipment and microphone stands and cables and cords for people to trip over in any one of a number of things.
Yeah.
Well, and having a closed space there, I know that we've talked briefly a couple of times about having an ice skating rink on the courtyard, but if we could use the space in front of the stage with a rental space that they could actually rent skates and that kind of thing in the back, like that would make that a multi-use space even in the winter time, which would still make it a gathering space in the winter. I think that's a possibility.
we throw that on a future agenda.
Oh, yes. Very good.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Dwayne.
Any other questions? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Thanks a lot.
All right,
I'm
do we have a
really
second?
proud of the Parks Department. I really am. You
Thanks,
guys
Dwayne.
are- you guys are on fire.
Thanks, Dwayne.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bye.
everyone. Survived the first meeting.